Excuse me. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Welcome in to Midnight Paint with April Jones. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What y'all doing tonight? Oh. Hey, Dominic. Hey, Mister. So this is going to be a picture about love. It's gonna have like a waterfall. Have like a really nice waterfall going down. A nice subtle sun. And this is just like a foundation. I add like a little foundation, a light foundation over top. Like and subscribe. Good evening. Midnight brush strokes with April Jones. I'm painting just something peaceful and something about love, you know? I have some more canvases coming in. Have some more canvases coming in. Twice the size of these, like 2 or 3 times the size of these. Oh, he's crazy. Ah. Okay, so I want to use like I want to, so I'm about to start outlining some of the drawings underneath and there with the sun. And I think I'm going to do like a Naples yellow, right? And then, oops, Naples yellow. I want to do like a little dot of this blessed peach. Hey, Emily. I'm a woman. It's a little dog. Okay. And then I'm gonna do like a little. Um, it's called vermilion, but you know, like a nice bright. Oh, I've never used it before. Okay, that's exciting. That's nice. That's a nice color. Thank you, Emily. Oh no, you're okay. I'm a lady. All right, let's see what this creates. Hopefully it's a nice like mix that like helps me like outline a nice outline for everything because this is gonna be like really it's gonna be like a peaceful like greenery type. So I want to make sure. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Mhm. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, so this. Like a type of green. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I use like a green outline in my last painting. So my name is April. My name is Emily. My name is April. April Jones. Mhm. We're gonna just mix this together. All right, and get back to it. I love your name. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that compliment. Thank you for that compliment. I am literally the epitome of my name's meaning. My name means to open. April means to open. And like that is like literally me. I am like really honest and just really I'm just really honest. I'm just a really honest person. Okay.
So he's countersuing for the overpayment of child support and emotional distress. All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. We now be seated.
Well, Your Honor, I am here on behalf of my son, Jakeem Walker. He's 15 years old, and I'm petitioning the court for a DNA test because Eric is denying that he's the father.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, let me just say that I met Eric Walker when I was in high school. We were high school sweethearts. We also have a daughter together. She's 18 years old. So we had her in August of 1990. At that point, Eric went to college.
Trying to go switch my name. I'm a boy, Emiliano. Okay, hey Emiliano. Okay.
And because of everything that was going on with her, we decided that we were going to have another child. At that point, Eric and myself.
You agreed?
Yes, sir. So we agreed because it was on February. It was on February, Valentine's Day, 1993. Eric had made this whole little dinner for me. He made like candlelit dinner, everything, and bought me this cute little outfit. I mean, it was really nice because we were trying to make another baby. So at that point, 3 weeks went by. Eric Walker went and got the pregnancy test. We both did the pregnancy test. Your Honor, he was excited. We both were excited. Okay.
That happened? No, sir, John.
Your Honor, we were excited about it. And then about 2 months to 3 months, I started to see a change in Eric. I found out that he had at least 3 to 7 children.
Outside of
us. Yes, sir. And then I know he has 11 kids right now.
11.
11.
No, sir, John. How many do you have? I do have 10 kids. I take care of them. I mean, I take care of my kids. I mean, I love my kids. Yes, 3 of them. How about the other 7?
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yes, my 18-year-old daughter. How many minors that don't live with you? 5, 6? No, I would say about 6. All right, you're up to date on your child support? Yes, sir. All right.
Well, Your Honor, after which I found out that he was cheating, and I just didn't want to deal with it, being that I had already went through so much stuff with my daughter, and I just didn't want to deal with it. I left him, and I started to date someone else.
This was after
my pregnancy. Yes.
Had you delivered your son?
No, I was at least about 3 months. 3 to 4 months.
Okay. No, she was pregnant in January. She said we made the baby in February, but she was pregnant in January. She's already pregnant.
But you said it wasn't yours, so I was leaving. That's why I know I'm right.
When did your pregnancy begin?
I know February 14th. That's when we had decided that we were going.
But you should also know when your pregnancy began.
In February of 1993.
All right. You have any evidence that it was January? Yeah, my recollections. Okay. That's not evidence. That's your opinion. So, what happened when your son arrived?
My son arrived. He was there. Eric Walker was there at the hospital with me, as well as my boyfriend that I was dating. But my boyfriend left because he didn't want to get involved in what we had going on, which was fine. So,
did you start dating the gentleman again?
I had started dating him about 3 months.
No, what month did you start?
I started dating him actually at the end of March.
January.
To the end of March.
1 month after the time you believe you were pregnant.
Yes, sir. Because I found out that he was cheating. So, anyway, Your Honor.
When did you find out you were pregnant?
I found out about 3 weeks because we were excited.
When did you find out cheating? Quiet, sir. So, the beginning of March is when you found out you were pregnant.
Yes.
And the end of March, 3 or so weeks later, is when you began dating someone else.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, do you see how he could be confused?
Yes, I do. Your Honor, he didn't start denying that my son was well into the world at that point. He was
doing the pregnancy. You call doing the pregnancy well into the world.
My son was at least 6 to 7 years old when he had inklings, or he was just
prior to that. He believed he was the father.
Yes.
And he acted like the
Yes,
fatherly duties?
yes.
Is that true? No, sir, God. All right, so you never performed fatherly duties. You know, the first time she came home, you know, I had to keep it.
All right, I'm gonna add a little lemon yellow to it.
I got your everything. I didn't feel it. You were 2 days old. When did you expect it? I mean, when you're home, you can feel like a bond. You can feel that love. You know, that kids yourself. I felt with my daughter, and I knew Will at that time. Oh, definitely.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, y'all, I ain't gonna tell me the feeling. But it's a feeling. It's a bond. It's a special type of love. It's a special feeling that you feel. I mean, like I said, I got 10 kids. I got no reason to not want. You know, now, you know, that's a good. I mean, why would I do that? I got reasons to believe other than just the fact that by her own admission, she began dating someone else within 3 to 4 weeks after she became pregnant. So I could see how you would be a little concerned as to whether it was your child and perhaps a little bothered by it.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little lemon yellow background for that before I go any deeper.
Tell me what happened since that time. Well, like this, y'all. Before he wasn't even born, we had to sign it up for. So I felt like I was very jealous at the time, and so I thought myself, well, hey, let me go ahead and go out and date, and to prove to her, and told her to date. So I told her that she can go. Yes, I did. Man, was this true?
That is not true.
All right, so let's get to what happened after the baby was delivered. What you said when you got there? I know how the baby got there. You don't have to tell me. Right. The birds and the bees. That's how the baby got there. Now, one more time. How did you respond? Did you respond as a father would for several years? Did you continue to deny for several years? Or did you just start denying? I kept denying, y'all. Because when I came from the beginning, when he was born, she took me to child support. We went there and they asked me what's my child. I told them no, but they said, well, you signed the birth certificate, so okay, you're responsible. All right. You didn't say I'm going to take a DNA test to prove I'm not? It was too late. They said, well, you signed the birth certificate, and that's it. They said it don't matter what you do from this point. Okay. You went to the wrong court, or you're not telling me the truth. Go ahead. So what has happened over the years, aside from you paying child support as you claim? Over the years, one thing is going on basically. I mean, continually tells me that the child is mine. She never once said that. Never agreed. Never admitted. Not one time. How old are you, young man? 15 years, and you haven't taken a DNA test. You have to come here to get a DNA test while this young man is being confused.
Yes.
Go ahead, already established that. You established what? You ain't established the truth. You get a DNA test. Now get the DNA results. How much you established something?
That suffering here is my son. The only person that's suffering is Shakina.
What overpayment of child support are you suing
He
for?
never paid child support.
Show me evidence. I don't have it. I know you don't.
He never paid.
Eric Walker is the father. Look at that, a low life.
Told you.
Right, so I'm just gonna introduce just a little orange and like red into it.
But to place this young man's mind like that, pay child support, and at the same time deny him for 15 years, certainly if you could pay child support over 15
And this is, of course, I'm gonna go right back in again. And just a little bit of red over to this side, and then I'm gonna clean my brush. And clean my brush off right quick so I can move back to the yellow. because I just want to make sure yellow is the focus point, but we have a good mix of everything.
They can take away 15 years of not knowing who his father is.
I feel relieved. I feel I'm excited because I'm glad that the king doesn't have that weight on him. You know, he had a lot of weight. He was angry. So now that's gone. He can move on with his life. I can move on with my life.
Style and substance. In the GMC Sierra, where current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of
So, just a little bit about me. My name is April Tate Jones, and I love God.
Has two children with the defendant, and she claims he was physically abusive.
I love God. I
She
love
was investigated by family services after the
to
defendant punched her in the face and even
live
harassed her
a
last
calm,
night at her hotel.
forgiving life.
Personal
I love to.
there was violence in their relationship.
I'm gonna go ahead and get green going as well.
He's been hit with everything from pots to shoes, and although he admits to hitting Tamara in the face, he insists it was only because he
Because I am about to start like this green work up.
Marcus's counter for a security
Start with you.
Let me start a little green work. Because I want it to be a very nice, whimsical green. We're going to throw this in there too.
You are. He's always the aggressor in these fights.
Um, we'll do a little yellow.
The other person you talk about. Not with the dog. Okay.
There.
What have you done to him? Now let him tell me. Violence. What has she done to him?
White, titanium white in there.
Go for everybody. Everybody don't care until you get
Okay. So I'm drinking some juice. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm gonna do like a really nice. I'm gonna do some greenery right there because I wanted it to have some stones and stuff in it, but I skip around when I paint, so that's just me.
because she wanted to say her witness is a mutual friend, so I really was coming to kick it with the friend, not with her. And they told me they had some free drink cards, so I went to go get drunk.
You shouldn't have come down. That's not a fair. You should have left this whole scene out.
We had just got there. So we were trying to enjoy ourselves and our hotel room, which he had our hotel room. So I said, well, I have plans tonight. My first time in Chicago. I'm gonna do that in Chicago, but I'm not gonna lose you.
I interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
By the time she got to talking about all of that stuff, she's saying she was drunk.
No, I'm not like, no.
When she first came down, when I called her upstairs and said I'm in the lobby, she came down, she was cool. Her friend came down, they were both cool. We went up to the bar, mini bar, to get some drinks. By this time, me and her friend get to talking. She informed me that this was her fourth drink. I said, what did you sign yourself up for? She is about to flip. Her and alcohol don't mix. So soon I said that, she started flipping, thinking me and her friend, which is her friend, is trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? She flipping on her. She won't flip on me, telling everybody her business, complete strangers. And she started falling out, just tripping.
I'm inclined to believe him about last night. Let's move on.
Okay, back in November, I lost my Section 8 and I need somewhere to go. He told me, he said, move out of my house and you can move in. I moved into his house with my children and our furniture. He said, you need to bring your furniture because I'm moving right now. I took my stuff into his home. I did it. And meanwhile, I got put on
His children, huh?
right? Because that's my oldest one.
Were you all still dating?
No.
Oh, okay. So you moved.
Hadn't been for 4 years.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I had another girlfriend that was halfway living with me.
That's
When she put this on me, I had to take the responsibility because she has my kid. I even told her, okay, I don't remember getting no money. I still pay the rent. I still pay the light and gas. Just get on your feet. Because the simple fact was she got kicked off Section 8 because she didn't pay her utilities. She would get a utility check to pay the utilities and would go out getting drunk, kicking it with her friends, staying out all night. They won't sleep, watch Young and the Restless, watch Judge Mathis. And it didn't fly with me.
What is it about my show when you're young and the rest? Is some on back to back or something?
Yeah, you're going to go up and if you want to.
Go ahead.
He's right. I moved in. He moved out. I was maybe 3 weeks before he came back. He was there, but he was going back and forth between me and his girlfriend at the time.
Spending the night there with you.
He was there with his girlfriend, so now I don't know what he did to her, but she stole all of his things. She stole his money, his cell phone, all of it. He came back to the house. You should go beat her up. She do this, she do that. Why should I do something to that girl? You know what you did to her? She did all that for a reason, though. I'm not getting into that. That's not my problem. That's your problem. So.
Okay, I'm gonna let that rest. I think I'm gonna do a little fill in, like a little. I'm gonna do a little.
Meanwhile, I didn't come back to the house. He wanted me to come to the house. We stayed maybe across. She stayed maybe across the park. He came over there.
Okay, so let's add a little bit of this type of wood. Thank you.
She came over there. Big guy. He brought it up. He's like, I didn't mean to do that. This, that, and other. My thing is, when you want something to let the kids at home, you could have brought the kids over here. You have the kids with a problem, but you let them at home by themselves. We want somebody to see us. And Shirley Family Services on us. So I have only had. Because I walk around all slow. My eye from here to here. Closed. Like, everybody's like, who are you fighting? I said, Mike Tyson. Because that's literally what I look like. I feel like knots in my face. I didn't make this work. I didn't think what I did. Out of there.
What I love most is that Bester really thought about the little things. The bedding is lazy friendly, which means it holds up through tons of washes. And the feel doesn't clump or fall flat after a few weeks.
And everything's budget friendly, but still feels like a treat. That's a huge win for parents.
We've always believed that comfort is more than just a nice blanket. It's all about creating a space.
And I usually take like maybe like 3 or 4 sessions before, maybe even 5, maybe 6 sessions before I'm actually like fully complete.
It's one less thing that I have to worry about. And that's a big deal in a house full of things.
My brother, we started our own record. It seemed like you guys didn't figure it out. Just like always.
Okay. I'm gonna get the bigger brush. I'm gonna get my bigger brush.
You just drove the train off the tracks.
I'm gonna go in with that. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this space.
We get into an argument one day and I asked her to leave. You know, I asked her to leave because I could do bad without you. You know what I'm saying? Leave the kids here. They can go to school, but the school's right around the corner. Leave the kids here with me. But as far as like you staying here and I'm having conflicts with my girl over this, you got to go because you're not doing nothing, doing the same thing that got you put out your own spot. So she left. Now she just still getting assistance from the government. She's still getting assistance. Food stamps, everything. For 2 months she was gone. Knowing her 3
Why
kids,
does she have to get assistance? Those aren't the government's kid.
Okay.
She was getting assistance because that's what she applied for. I can't stop her from applying for nothing. So you weren't giving her enough child support? I do everything. I don't give her no money, no child support, no, but I do everything for the kids. I do everything. I'm the one buying clothes. I'm the one buying food. I'm the one buying everything they got. Even her daughter that's not mine. I buy that. I buy everything. She don't buy nothing. I don't give her no cash in her hand. No, I do not. Because I know what she'll do with it. Do some elbow exercise. I'm glad to hear the things you're saying, and quite frankly, I believe them. But I want to hear about this assault. Okay. Now, as far as me hitting her, I did hit her, dog. I can't lie. I'm not gonna lie. I did hit her. But the circumstances behind all of this were, I went over there and they was having a lesbian relationship when I went over there. They come to the door button that. I've been waiting on her since 2 o'clock in the evening. Now it's 10 o'clock at 11 o'clock at night to come get the kids so I can go retrieve my car. And when I roll up in her spot, they all but that. This is her lesbian friend. Now I'm gonna put everything out here. This is her gay friend. They're together. I just don't know how she got money. If you have those type of issues, you need to go and get some anger management, counseling of some sort, because that's the most unmanly thing that you can do. So let's get a man about it, all right? He has said he put you out, and it sounds like you were illegally evicted. So when did you leave?
I left never returned.
All right, and then what?
His pipes from the house. If he wanted to
When?
go out. This was the end of January, maybe a couple weeks after I moved out.
And
He
then
said,
what?
well, we have to do the end of February to get things out of there. When I went over there, I went on the 25th. I got the majority of my things. When I got to my couch that wasn't there, the living room stuff wasn't there. I said, well, where's my stuff at? It's at the new house. I'm waiting on Aaron's to come.
Was it there?
At his new house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me hear from you about evicting her, because that's what you did, sir, and her items. My landlord told me it won't take too long to fix the price, so we left me to move. I found another spot right across the street from my kids' school, and I moved in. I took kids' stuff, the bedroom set for the kids, and they furniture, their dresses and stuff, but they moved with me. So I did take her little couch.
My tables. My living room
None
stuff.
of her tables, none of her nothing. I took her couch. Took her little wicker couch. A common claim for $375 for a security deposit. What's that? Because I moved out in end of February. Kept asking her to come get your stuff from my house. What things? It was still like tables and her TV and what big stands and stuff with candles all over that stuff.
Yeah.
I kept asking her to come get it. She would never come get it. I'm telling her the lady is holding my security deposit back until I empty out and clean her house up like I moved in. That's how she won't. She would never go get her stuff. So when I called the landlord, she said, I'm holding your security deposit because I had to pay somebody to come. You have any evidence of any of that? No. Is this true?
No.
All right. So we don't have to go any further, sir. You issue an application, you prove it.
Wherever the road takes you, Chevy's ready to drive you forward with pure power unleashed and future forward technology. Every path leads to new possibilities. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Any other evidence someone wants to give me?
I text messages of people threatening me.
Excuse me. Ooh, sorry.
I told it. I was mad.
So you ain't gonna get no clothes. That's the first thing I see, sir. You're denying her her clothes. No, the kids' clothes.
Kids' clothes.
Clothes. You're denying them. You're denying property to her, sir, and threatening her. You're scared to fight.
I did.
You gonna tell her how she's scared to fight? You gonna tell her how she's scared to fight? I should have. You know both ways, right? I should have brought those answers and replied to those text messages.
So bad.
You see, because she know what she was texting.
I got my phone saying something February 26th. I think I put every important detail in because you never know when you need it.
Sir,
And I got the $400 worth of clothes I bought for the kids.
let me see it.
Mm-hmm. And I went to the store, got quotes, and I went on the internet, I backed mine up. I backed it all up. He can say what he wants to say.
Say what you want.
I got proof though. I got envelopes with stuff over here. You can have an envelope.
In addition to the envelope of stuff that I haven't seen, based on some of the evidence I've seen, based on your testimony, one, it was an illegal eviction. Two, you did take the things over that you agree were hers. You moved some of them, and then you left the other things there, obviously, that you could use, and those were disposed of without her having an opportunity to get them. $1,487 is your judgment. You haven't proven the security deposit to me. Good luck to you, and I hope you can get a grip on your anger.
Okay, so I'm gonna use another. I'm gonna use a little bit of this.
He didn't want to work with children family services. I made sure when he had the kids that they met, the kids had daycare. He went open the door, he went answer the phone, nothing.
You know, ruled in her place, but she still won't.
Just want a little bit of this.
Naked, first of all, she was getting her haircut. She didn't have a shirt. She got a haircut. What she had a shirt on for? She had a bra. Her boyfriend was there. So as far as a lesser relationship, no. She's my friend, true enough. We choose to do something like that. 30 years old, I can do what I want to do.
It is what it is. She know, they know. You know, when I come in the house, they both butt naked. And I ain't got to sit up here on national TV. It is what it is. It is what it is. They know what they do. It ain't nothing.
Okay, whatever it is, I need I ain't ashamed of it. I go out with that. Hey, I will get my hair cut. You might cut my hair. I am ashamed.
Please, I have to talk.
He was mad.
This is Buick. Now. Buick. Exceptional by design. Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Baby Bubble Pop. The sweet lollipop and candy powder filled baby bottle. Let your kids shake things up. No. Baby Bubble Pop.
Full of silliness.
Plaintiff Deion Edwards says she knows the defendant through her son, and she claims she is nothing but a fraud. Deion claims after she bought a truck from the defendant, it was repossessed because the defendant had failed to pay on it for over 2 years, so she's suing for the cost of the vehicle. Defendant Felicia Dixon says Deion first came into her life when she was trying to get with Felicia's 19-year-old son, and after she purchased the SUV, Felicia caught Deion in her son's bed smoking marijuana. Felicia claims it was Deion's fault that the SUV was repossessed. She's countersuing for harassment and defamation.
Yes, I wanted to sue her because she's shown herself to be a fraud and a con artist.
Where do you know from?
I know her through her son, who I know through my child's father, who were all friends. So
How long have you known?
I want to say almost a year.
You all gotten along?
Yeah, we were friends. We were all getting along. You know,
You broke up your friendship, something involving this vehicle.
this is what broke my friendship. We were all friends.
Let me ask you, were you all?
You know, I didn't even know her, sir.
No, now that you owe this money, you don't know all this.
I know her. I never knew her.
No, you don't.
I never knew her. Never knew her.
You don't look for baby day. That's
I did not know Miss Elvis. I'm too different age bracket than him.
all right. Why are you here today?
We here today because she saw me take a stolen truck. When I say they
Sold you a stolen truck for how much?
$1,500. We wrote the bill of sales because she did not have the title. So we wrote the bill of sales. Would you like that?
Yes. What type of car was it?
It was a 1996 Ford Expedition.
96
Yes, sir.
Expedition.
Yes, sir. That's not true. The 1999 Expedition. 99.
99. That's the greatest deal I've heard of.
I know, right? That's why I don't know.
That deal? Well, I guess if it was stolen, yeah. Yes, you sold you a stolen car, right? How did you find it was stolen?
Because after I bought it from February 15th, which was crazy yesterday, I bought the truck from her. On the 16th, we went and paid for the title, the tag. Because it was season. Went and paid for the tag. And then about a month and a half later, I hear a beep beep outside the window. I jumped up and then it's a tow truck backing up to my truck. So I ran down the steps and asked him, what are you doing? He told me, Felicia Dixon. I said, no, sir. I'm being evidence. He said, this truck has got to be for this truck for over 2.5 years. It is basically stolen.
Really not basically.
Because she stopped making payments.
Police come to your house
Yeah.
when you have a stolen automobile, not a tow truck.
Repossession, yeah. He let me know that since he spotted the truck that the sheriff's on his way, so I had to run and get the upstairs and show him, sir, she stole me this truck. I didn't just up and take the truck. I had to prove that to him in order for him to call the police off.
Okay, so what ultimately happened?
Well, ultimately happened is that I called her and told her to take the truck. She said, who told me where it's at? I was like, I didn't know it was in hiding. I didn't know it was supposed to be hiding. So I didn't my friends tell anybody where it's at.
She don't do it like she did today. So she said, what again? What was?
She said, well, I'm handling, I'm calling back. So she calls back a couple of hours later to tell me what she couldn't get my truck, but I can pick up the papers for $375 a month for this truck. Why would I do that? If I wanted to do that, I could have went to Florida, anybody else, put down a down payment and paid a car note. That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
First of all, y'all, can I say a little bit about Dion? Like I said, I didn't know Miss Elvis when
Who's coming back? Yeah.
I did not know Miss Elvis from the beginning. I never saw her until my son came and told me she wanted to talk to me about my expedition. The truck was purchased by me in 2009. And the tow truck was $5,990.
That sounds more reasonable.
And it came out to be about $7,000.
What's about the cost? It has to be $7,000.
People they do that at entrance and
So you financed it.
right.
All right.
I had to pay
$375.
$375. So my son came to me and he told me that Miss Elvis wanted to buy my car. I said, Shay, I can't sell her the car. I still got notes on it. She said, well, she wanted to talk to you about the car. Came back to me again. I said, well, okay, let's go there. This was early one morning. We went up to where she stayed, which was in there, Hood. And
We're making healthcare costs more transparent for all, starting with you.
I get up there, and we talked. The first thing I asked Dion, I said, why you want to buy this truck? She said, because I've been to several car lots, and I couldn't get no car because of my job situation. I said, well, I got a Cadillac, and I got another Expedition and a Lexus. She said, I want this car. Okay, this truck. She said, this make me look good for what I do. So she said, you would take up the car payment. I said, you can give me back what I put into the car as down payment, $1,500. You take up the car payment. She agreed. My son there, I said, are you sure this is what you want to do? Well, let's try the car.
Was the car being
It was about 1 month at that time.
okay? So
I had just got a
all
letter.
right, so she would have had to pay the delinquent $375 plus the $1,500, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then continuing until it was paid off.
Paid for.
That was your agreement.
Right. Plus, she asked me if I had gave her a stolen car, why would we go to the tag place and get a tag? If it was stolen, the tag, they would never give me a tag for a stolen car. The tag is in my name, Felicia Dixon. I paid that $70. She said it was stolen. Yes, and that's what that man pulled up to my house and said, you need to look at this truck, but you're on my friend. He is considering it.
You have evidence that This reflect I am selling the Ford in the summer of 1500. This vehicle was sold as is, with no title, no warranty, only a bill of sale. This.
She was supposed to pick up the but you gave me my
I am selling the Ford 1999 Expedition in the sum of $1,500.
I wanted to experience it wrong, but she was supposed to make it.
Because I don't believe you. I don't believe you sold this woman. I don't believe this woman because of $1,500 that you owe thousands of dollars on.
Yeah, we can say this too, but my son
That's been told to them that there's no title.
no time. Because the car was not paying for it.
You know that part. No, you're right that it hasn't been paid for. So if you put on here there's no title, you should have put on here there is no title because the car is not paid off and she is responsible for paying it off.
Actually, you know,
Come on up. Say your name.
my name is Shay Brown.
What do you want to tell me?
She had just because I'm kissing the police just pulled her over something just showed she smelled something in the car. The only reason we really did no sale, we really just went and did cash and then went through with the car. She would have to go back to the car dealership. So I would say I was not worded right, but ain't nobody for sale on 1999 for no $1,500, $7,000 car. Then I was like, hey,
Unless they have 4 other cars and they're trying to be nice to the when you come in and talking big. No, I got another expedition. I got 2 other cars. Take this for 15 miles. You ain't never do it. I'm living big.
A witness also stated and said I did not sell her. Well, okay, we can go with that, then, y'all. You know the law.
I'm violating the law. I'm violating the law if I go against this contract. Your counterclaim for $2,500 for defamation.
Before I get to the defamation, I would like to also say part of my defamation has to do with my son. Dion was after my 19-year-old son. That's how they met. They didn't know each other just on a personal everyday basis. She had a boyfriend, a baby dad, boyfriend. She would come by the house in the expedition, pick my son up, go get his haircut, take him to dinner, try to make dad. How many times she started coming by my house after she bought the expedition? She left some money in my house one day. Shay, come here. So we got Vicky down the steps, so I goes up the steps. She in the bed, shirt hand all over, smoking weed with my son. So I asked, I said, is there a problem up in here? She said, Shay, can you give regards? No, let me talk to you one to one. I said, first of all, nobody really comes to my house. And I said, Shay don't smoke weed in my house. And you think I'm gonna let you smoke weed in my house and disrespect my house? I'm sitting downstairs, you
Do you
disrespect me
prevent your
upstairs.
son from having women with their clothes off in the house?
Yes.
Okay. You prohibit him from smoking weed in the house.
In my house, definitely.
I heard you were smoking weed.
She had the weed. Like, wasn't you smoking it? I don't know whether you were smoking it. It was in there together. So I'm sure they was.
You said he was.
So we had the weed. Now she didn't have it.
Listen to me carefully. He smoked some.
Yes, right.
So what did you say to him when you pulled him back into the room?
I didn't put it.
I know you didn't. Defamation, ma'am. You're putting everything on this young lady, and your son sitting right there doing the same thing. He could have told her, don't smoke weed in my mom's house. Get out. He could have said, put your clothes on. I don't like women with their clothes on. Get out. One more time. You got one more time to talk about this defamation you counted so and so.
Two sons with Cadillac Gold war classes required for firefighter proof. Chevy is called the heartbeat of America, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
This particular day, I'm down my 75-year-old house. I sit with her alive. And Shay goes out there washing cars. I left and went home. As soon as I left to go home, my aunt's calling me back 10 minutes later telling me Deonna's down at her house making a scene. Slandering my name. Talking about I sold her a stolen vehicle. The vehicle was not to her too. She told it to all the guys that was out there in my office. My aunt also, my aunt. The car wasn't stolen. Now, if I sold her vehicle, that's fine, but it wasn't stolen.
You see letters. Who are those from?
My daughter and my 75-year-old aunt.
Did you tell anyone that the car was stolen?
Yes, sir. I went to the residence where she said I could find her. And they were moving. I maybe decided to stop it.
Ma'am, you know this car was stolen. The police didn't call. People came to repossess it. You didn't say this woman's name. She did not sell you a stolen car, and you knew she didn't. $1,500 is your judgment. I'm giving you your money back. $1,500 is your judgment. $1,000 is yours for the defamation. Have a good day.
But if I wanted, I could have. That's how I feel about that situation.
You gave me a key to your house, and I
Yeah, I found a key to her house and was telling her boyfriend was beating her up. She's a beautiful young lady. Everybody behaved on the key. Prove it. Where's the home? And she's a house. She's a hoe. You don't mind trifling. That's all right, your mama. And your mama.
Hi, Good Breakfast. My name's April, and I have a question for you. If I'm a passenger in my friend's car and another driver who doesn't have insurance hits us, can I sue my friend for medical bills?
Yes, you can, April. You can also make a claim with your friend's insurance company to recover your expenses and to compensate you for your pain and suffering as a result of your injuries.
Get 4.4% APR for 36 months on most 2025 models.
You deserve something.
Playing Jovan was ended online, and they fell in love quickly. Jovan claims he was living with the defendant when he went to Brazil and admittedly cheated on her. But then she went on a trip to Mexico and cheated on him with a wannabe rapper. Jovan suing his ex for unpaid love. Defendant Maritza Taylor admits that she cheated on Jovan while in Mexico, but says it was purely revenge because Jovan broke her heart. Maritza admits to borrowing money from Jovan, but insists he erased the debt after she co-signed a loan for him.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Rick Mannix presiding. May now be seated.
Sir, you're suing your ex-girlfriend $2,500 for an unpaid loan?
Correct.
All right. Tell me what happened. That's the current girlfriend there? Go against the wall? Why do you keep smiling? Yeah. Where y'all live? They want to move down. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, well, I met Melissa Ivy Taylor in November of 2005 over MySpace, and let me tell you, we fell in love pretty quick, and we moved into February of the following year. Everything was pretty smooth up until April of 2007, until I took a trip to the Holy Land, which we all know is as Brazil. And let me tell you, the rumors are true. They said
The Holy Land for men who want to see it.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not really a bad guy. I'm not into that or anything like that. I just was the weaker man on that trip, and I let temptation take the best of me.
Rio de Janeiro.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rio.
All my buddies been inviting me to go there for years. And they say just like you said, well, beautiful
If
woman.
you're married, don't go, please. Don't go.
Like, I'm not going to go and torture myself.
Yeah.
It's one go ahead.
So I came back like an idiot. I brought back some evidence and some photos. As I got out the shower, she found the photos and she decided to play a game of dodgeball with the utilities of the house, like the VCR, the PSP. She was doing everything. She threw the TV and she started doing fits. Things got rough and it was a little rocky. But we got through that. We worked it out. We got through it, and we fell back in love again. Later on that year, it was her birthday coming up, and I planned a trip for us to Australia. But instead, she decided to go to Mexico and have fun. Now, while I was in Australia,
Got to call up again.
no. This time it was her being spiteful. She cheated on me with a whack rapper.
Wasn't even a hit maker.
Yeah, he was just some wannabe guy, whatever. She did her
How
thing.
did you find out?
Well, I came home, came back. I was driving her car, and I found a cell phone in her car. I didn't think nothing of it. I was kind of like, holding off a little bit. Until her coworker, her boss, tricked me over her house. And I'm thinking at the time that she wanted to party and hang out with my roommates. Little to find out, she wanted to party with me alone. I used that against her. She tricked me over there. I tricked her into telling me stuff about Ivy while I was out of town. And she told me,
Tripping going on.
yeah. But prior to that trip, in order for her to go to Mexico, she needed to pay off the American Express balance.
That's where the loans come in.
That's where the loans
To
come
allow
out.
her to give her into the background. Go ahead, man.
So far, what he has said is true. Just got caught up. He wasn't too slick with it.
How about you? You weren't too slick either.
I covered my tracks pretty good.
Now, if he knows about it,
Yeah, that was someone else who told him the story. But it was true. What happened in Brazil? He did cheat on me.
to start dating a whack rapper.
It was just revenge, really. I was young, immature. I just wanted to get back at him because he really, broke my heart. So I had a friend fly in for magic, and he hit me up. So I went out with him, and that was it. Basically, just to get revenge.
All right. Go ahead. Tell me about the money you're suing her for.
Okay. At the time, I was up under a spell, which we call love.
See how you got the fine woman. Yeah. Smooth as they come. Go ahead.
Well, so I loaned her $3,000 in order so she could have the time of her life in Mexico. At the time, I said, "Look, here's $3,000. Go ahead and pay me back $2,500. Keep $500 because it's your birthday."
Actually, he did lend me $3,000. $1,500 of it was a gift. The remainder.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
It was a gift. Your Honor. And the remainder was to be paid
I'm
back.
asking Your Honor, that's not true.
The remainder was to be paid. We paid
The remainder $1,500 to be paid back.
over what period of time?
There's no details, no.
I have the complete details there.
Can you say it was $500 that you were giving as a gift, and she was to pay $2,500 back? All right, any period of time?
November 1st of that year, she said that she was going to start paying me back. At the time of that, I was okay with it. She made a lot of money.
Did you pay anything down?
Well, back in October, he needed to go to that part. His credit was not approved for the stuff that he could not get approved for
What's that to do with the loan?
So he needed a co-signer. I have really good credit. I told him, you know what? You can't find anyone. I'll co-sign for you if you erase my debt. And that was the end of the deal.
Is that true?
That's not true.
But I don't know what incentive I would have to co-sign a loan.
Why would I pay somebody to
I
co-sign?
have good credit. I would not put myself in jeopardy. I unless
How long had you all been broken up by that time?
we were still together.
Oh, well, that's why. That's the incentive. Your man wants you to go
I mean, I have credit clearly. I'm not trying to jeopardize my
You suggested that there was no incentive, and I'm suggesting to you, if you all still dating, that's the incentive. I'm not going to co-sign because my man asked me to. My man has money. He runs off to Australia. He runs off to Rio de Janeiro. He has plenty of money, so I know it won't be any problem with me co-signing and him paying it off. $2,500 based on the fact that you gave her $500 of a $3,000 loan, and the other is a loan. How do I know who's telling the truth? Well,
I have Bank of America. It shows
3,000. She missed it. If she received 3,000, the only issue was how much she was to pay back.
well,
they have fresh food, swap, native. I think they're like farmers market girlies now.
So I'm gonna make this one just a little bit lighter somehow. I'm gonna make the water down below just a little bit lighter somehow. Um, I just want to lighten it up. I need more white paint. I've got to order some more white paint because I'm like almost out.
Chineke, Devon Brady. As far as I'm concerned, through emails and phone calls, whatnot, she agreed to pay back 2,500. And installments. I agree there was a full $300 payment on February 1st of 2009, which she totally neglected. As far as the meals,
All right, sir. Do you have any of the emails that your witness is referring to?
no, I don't have any emails. I have two things. Yes, she did co-sign for the car for me, but we did get into a fight, and I said, "You have to start paying me in November." I gave her a lot of ways to even get out of
Go
it.
ahead, get to the evidence that you have. It was
If I have my credit report showing that I made every bill on time, and I have her partying pictures, buying brand new designer clothes, having the time of her life, as she was living with her family, paying no bills. She paid no bills, but she chose to spend money on other things.
Yeah, sir, but that still doesn't prove that of the 3,000 you gave her on.
And then I'm gonna do.
She co-signed out of love.
Is this the?
We knew each
I
other.
think.
My credit report right here, so it showed that I made every payment on time. Now, we did. I made a lot of bills with her. I got so
Let's see what this looks like. If we add a little bit of that in there.
She was begging me, and I said the only way I'm going to co-sign for you is
It's a tidbit.
It's your burden to prove by preponderance of evidence, and that is more likely than not that what you're saying is true. And you have a witness who says she observed conversation or text that said she would repay 2,500, and you have no witness. You tell me something that I find to be unreasonable. 2,500 for the plaintiff. I believe him, and I believe his witness. Have a good day.
Plaintiff Supreme Bill says her deceased brother fathered the defendant's son, and she's desperate to get her nephew help because his mother, the defendant, is addicted to PCP. Sabrina's suing her nephew's mother for emotional distress because she refuses to let Sabrina be a part of his life. Defendant Lakita Woods admits she drinks and gets high from time to time, but she doesn't believe she's a danger to her son. Lakita claims Sabrina's done nothing but lie about her to the courts, so she's countersuing for harassment.
I'm here on behalf of my nephew who's sitting there and his mother, Miss Woods, and hope that maybe you can help in some kind of way because I'm exhausted. And it's because I love them both. But right now, about him because he's still young.
Um,
He'll be 15 tomorrow. And my brother, who William Weber, was killed February 8th of 2000. And Dominique had been with us from 6 days old up until my brother's death. He was shot coming from a club. He was working as a case manager at the time, going to school to be a social worker, taking on his son and a young lady with 3 kids of her own. But I do believe he slipped back into a lifestyle that, but he still was working.
Destructive lifestyle.
Right. So,
Why did you have to take care of the defendant's son since he was 6 days old?
okay. She left him in the hospital. She's alive. The reason being, at the time, the kid had a lot of problems. She's addicted to PCP. And we were trying to give her a chance to get her life together. Right. Not just take her and say, oh, he's.
Let me hear your side about this, man. Give me some background.
The reason why he was left in the hospital at 6 days old because her and her mother fed him lies. It wasn't his.
Fed him lies at 6 days old. So
Fed my baby father lies, basically saying, no, that's not your son. The whole time I was hearing him, whose son is that? Me and him talked, not them. Me and him talked. He said, if it is his, he's going to take it and take care of him. And we took it from there. He get him some weeks, I get him some weeks.
Okay.
He get him a month, I'll get him a month.
Until the time he passed.
Yes.
All right, good enough. Go ahead, ma'am. She says that they shared custody, her and the child's father, since the child was born, and that is nothing unusual. There's nothing wrong with that. So what are you here for?
I'm here because I am tired. My nephew
Tired of what?
she just got locked up a month ago. He came over with scratches on his neck. She has never been stable. She has been on PCP all since I've known her.
That's real life. How has it caused you stress?
Because I had went to pick him up in episodes where it was violent. I found guns and weed on him at 6. Fake weed and fake guns. Not real. In his brother's pocket and his another young boy.
6-year-olds do have toy guns. I don't know about
It was
toy
fake
weed.
drugs.
It's toy weed.
They look like weed. It was bagged up. I have stuff your arms to show where she tried to file. Basically, they gave us joint custody. She was trying to file for sole custody before she can get this up out of it. They gave us joint custody.
Okay, and you wanted to do that voluntarily?
I was. Because yesterday, my baby father passed. If anything happened to me, I didn't want my son to be in the system. I didn't go with his family. His father side of the family.
So you think that everybody who has children gives joint custody to someone because the chance that something might happen to the parent? No one has joint custody of my children.
The life I was living, yeah, I did.
Right. That's why then, go ahead, ma'am. What's the emotional distress?
The emotional
You had to pick him up how many times?
Over and over up until now. Like I
Over
said,
and over, meaning how often?
probably once or twice a week when I could locate him. Okay?
For how many years?
Up until now.
Once or twice a week. Who would notify you that there was a problem?
I would call the house or even he'll call me to come get him.
And
And when they had a phone.
did he give you a reason?
Yeah, since mother was tripping off folks, she chased one of her sons around with a knife.
Tripping off?
She chased the other son with a knife on PCP.
Was your son calling her to come pick him up 3 times?
Not no 3 times a week. He may have called her
How often?
maybe, I'm gonna say like once or twice out of a year.
Why?
Because during this time, around her brothers, I tend to get drunk and high. I ain't gonna lie. And
So it's only been since that death?
yeah,
Not before. He wasn't calling before saying, come and pick me up.
no, thank you down now.
Man, you want me to ask him?
Please do.
Come on up, young man. State your name.
Dominique Woods.
What do you want to tell me about all this?
Part of it is true, and
What's
part
part?
of it, I mean, I used to call my aunt sometimes when my mom would have these episodes, but she didn't have them ever so often, like 3 times a week. It happened twice out of the year, like 3 times out of the year. And I would call my aunt, she would come pick me up, and I would stay away until my mother got back.
Your aunt,
He's lying too?
she tells
Is he
him,
lying?
yes,
Okay.
I don't think he's lying. She tells him This is the thing she would tell him. Don't tell what goes on in this house.
We're talking about you coming to pick him up 2 or 3 times every week.
I would.
So that's my question. Is he lying when he says twice a year?
Yes, he is. I feel like his mother has coerced him.
To lie today?
Yes. Because he loves his mother, as most young people do, no matter what they do. I love both of them. This is not about money. I could care less, but I don't want him to be a statistic. That's all I have left of my brother. All I have left. And she knows that we have been good to her. She left him, my brother, into daycare from 6 to 6 when he was young. And she ran all fighting people. She stabbed a girl, went to jail for stabbing a girl, hurt another girl, and assaulted a police officer. She just got out of jail a month ago. And you think she sent him to us? You think she called us to let us know? I tracked him down. Because you have a title don't make you a mother. Everybody use more women working their behinds than their minds. And I'm not here to play games, but I know he loves her. We never tried to keep him. We love you too. You've hated on us anyway. We lived in Simple City, Your Honor, if you've heard of Simple City. One of the worst projects in D.C. I was 20 and a cop there. My mother tried to keep her son, which my brother from Makita was, because she's seen things in her running around fighting the boys, smoking boats. This has been going on for so long. I only come here not for money to save my nephew. They just got the gunning down 14-year-old. She wants to have him with everybody else than us. It's just me and my mom. We've been there. When he was in the hospital with an infection in his leg, my brother took it. We could have had the upper hand on her years ago if it was about money. All we had to do was go to court and get physical custody, but then she ended up hitting rock bottom if she ain't got no money coming in. So we had it hard. And I love him. Whatever goes on today, it's in God's hands, but I'm tired. I've lost weight because I took 5 bites to her cousin who got money from my brother, all the Social Security. He ain't got nothing to show for it. After the money was spent, her cousin dropped his stuff back off in the hood and didn't even give it to her, and he ended up with nothing. Her cousin smoked PCP, wasn't even raising her kids. You smoke marijuana. I'm not gonna lie. That makes her better than me because they drink and smoke.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Granger, we're here for you. Professional grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call Granger.com or just stop by. Granger, the ones get it done.
It's not a laughing situation, but I've been here too many times for her to keep trying to bring it back and forth. It's all about money, Your Honor. I ain't trying to tell you. You know, hold on, you said right there in court, my fiance, my extended family. I have letters right now telling you, you fought the mother, you fought the cousin. Yes, you did. And Michelle lied on me, told me something I deserve to be paid because they can take care of my child better than I. Can't nobody take care of my child better than me. I don't care what you do, just whatever you gotta do, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm going to take care of my son, regardless of how you think I'm gonna treat him or not. I treat him to the best of my advantage. I keep a piece of a job. Do you have a job? No, you do not. That's why she's here. That's all it's about is the money, Your Honor.
Ma'am, your son is 15. Has he been living a troubled life
No.
since he was with you?
Basically, he got in trouble for hanging with the wrong crowd twice.
What type of trouble?
Stolen car.
Twice?
Mhm.
You ever get in trouble with her?
No. They done.
Why do you think that is?
So I don't have a child my age or a child that I can handle when I go over. So I go over there sometimes. I don't be over there a lot.
The people got older.
So, ma'am, tell me what problems you've observed or you understand
Okay.
that occur.
His grades dropped. His attitude seems to change where he goes inward, where I can't ask him about anything. And so much.
It sounds like he lives in a destructive environment.
Well, yes, he was. They said her roommate just would have had something in.
Not just the household, around the
Yes, it has
community.
been. It has been.
All right, and do you live in the cemetery?
No, we moved. We got a chance to move.
All right.
You know.
How long ago?
Probably about 5, 6 years.
All right, he was 9 or 10.
Yeah. And I was taking, the thing is,
Living in the projects at 9 or 10 is a lot different than living in the projects or living in a impoverished, drug-infested community at age 15. You can't blame this woman at this point for every activity that this young man engages in. If they're living in a crime and drug-infested neighborhood, the peer pressure is so tough on this young man. If she were a saint, he's likely, more likely than not, to be in trouble. People say, well, so-and-so didn't do it, that's the minority. The absolute majority of young, impressionable teenagers living in a crime and drug-infested community are getting in trouble. They're dropping out of school and they're getting in trouble without question. So your counterclaim for $2,500 is for what now?
Basically harassment. This is the prime example. She done took me to court before, slander my name, saying like you just said, I got them selling drugs. I might have smoked drugs back some years ago, but you could take us back there. See who test gonna be dirty and who's gonna be clean.
Young man, do you have
He loves his mother, he's supposed to.
situation? Yes, sir. All right, how you doing in school?
Good.
What average do you
I
have?
got a 2.7 as of right now.
Is that right?
Play basketball, football.
Is that right?
His auntie teaching him.
Basketball, baseball,
Have you
football.
ever been to a graduation? Have you ever been to a war ceremony? Have you ever been to a birthday? So where do you lie if you did? You a lie. Why would I be on you? You have my address. You ain't never had
So,
a
young
place.
man, see your aunt and your grandmother if and when you like, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Power Crunch. Light cookie crunch. Enriched with protein. This is protein worth craving. Power Crunch. Protein worth craving. It's salon quality hair color at home. Connect with the licensed colors for free. Only at SallyBeauty.com.
Well, ladies, seems like a intelligent young man. He's playing sports in school. That's a clear sign of progress. He says he'll see who he wants when he wants to. She can't stop him from seeing you. You can't stop him from
It's
seeing
not,
her.
and I tried to specify that it's not about anything but keeping him so he can continue
It
on.
sounds like he's on the right track.
And we want to keep him on the right track.
And I think he will. And I don't think there's much you all can do to determine that.
Well, it's been
At
playing.
age 15, if he wants to go down the path of self-destruction, there's nothing you can do but call the police.
That's why
If he wants to live a productive life, which he is currently living, it's because he has made up his mind to do that. Not because of what she has said, not because of what you have said. He may have listened, but in making up his mind, it was because that's what he wanted to
But I
do.
think about you being an advocate and a man and a judge, and I watch you, and I like the way you seem to stand for truth.
And fair.
That's why I came
And
here.
fair.
I don't care about nobody. Give her that because I'm supposed to buy him a dirt bike tomorrow. I couldn't even get in touch with him. For 3 weeks, can I ask him why he won't answer me my
Yeah,
phone?
yeah, because that's up to him. That she has nothing to do with that.
Your phone is turned off.
No, you ain't calling me. No,
Phone turned off.
no. He has both my cell phones.
Your phone off?
No.
Oh, man.
Just-
Ain't nobody talking. Nobody have the phone on.
My cell phone.
You treat him like he's a...
We've been through. It ain't until it started.
And the point is, it's over. It's over. Whatever you went through with him and her, it's over. It's over. She's not a 6-year-old. If he wants to.
Give me a hug, honey. Women still taking care of grown men, and they never get tired of that.
No, man.
But I'm telling you about this too.
Get half price shake every day after 5 for a limited time. Free each side. Sometimes a man will suffer compensate for his lack of sweat. Old Spice.
Friend of Wabu says she met the defendant through a mutual friend, and she soon discovered that he's a liar who can't be trusted. Wabu claims she sold her car to the defendant, but he never paid off the balance, and then he left her a threatening voicemail. Defendant Aaron Hariyama says Wabu is a hardcore drug dealer. He sells marijuana, crack, and heroin. And when he first finds a look at Wabu's vehicle, there's a gun in the trunk. Aaron insists he paid Wabu in full for the vehicle, and therefore doesn't owe her anything else.
Well, Your Honor, I met Aaron in early December. He seemed to be a really respectable guy, but little did I know, he lies about everything, and everything he says is a lie. We met through a mutual friend. He said he was interested in buying my car.
I'm sorry, that's not true. I bought weed off her. That's all I know.
Bought weed, that's weed.
Yeah.
Okay, how did you find out how did you know she sold weed?
She wasn't in the paper or anything, but she was pretty much advertising it. She was pretty much advertising it though. And that's how I know.
Advertising it where?
Just around, we live in the same area, Kenwood, and I was at the mall.
It's obvious
She
he's
was
a liar.
advertising at the mall?
Yeah,
How?
What do you mean how?
How was she advertising? When you're advertising, you have a means of advertising. You put up a sign. You put an ad on the radio. You do something to advertise. You pass out flyers. Was she at the mall passing out flyers?
She was not passing out
How
flyers.
exactly was she advertising at the mall that she sold dope?
Just words.
So she went around to people at the mall telling them?
No, not people, me.
Okay, so she just told you.
Yeah.
Advertise means you're spreading the word to more.
Well, actually, sir, if I can correct myself, I did confront her. I believe it was a while back. It was in January. So I did confront her. But, I mean, it wasn't, besides that, there was no third party involved. That's what I'm trying to say.
You just walked up to her and said, I heard you sold weed?
No, I didn't hear anything. There was no third party involved. I just said,
You just suspected she did?
well, I mean, I guess, yeah, that sounds a little bit wrong with it, but yes.
Why did you suspect she sold weed?
I don't know.
Okay, is there anybody here today you suspect?
Maybe that dude right there. I'm really sure. Maybe. Sorry, I am. Well, sir,
We have your name here. I'm gonna pass it on to him so he can sue you for defamation. All right, let's proceed, ma'am.
He said he was interested in buying my car, so I said, okay. And not only did he not pay me, he lies and thinks everything's a joke. I don't think $2,100 is a joke. You know, I work hard for my money.
What was the agreement and what happened?
We agreed.
3,000.
We agreed that he was going to pay $3,000 for the car.
Mhm.
And in the middle of January, we took it to a mechanic. The mechanic told him that the car was not worth $3,000. But because I had a sound system inside of the car, I told him it was worth $3,000. And he insisted that he get the car because he likes the sound system that was inside of it.
And he agreed to pay.
Yes, he signed the contract right here. We got it notarized at the bank, and we both signed it.
All right, you're still already put down a deposit of 1,000.
No, I received $870. I haven't even received the whole $1,000 for the down payment.
Okay, what has happened since that time?
Well, he's been avoiding me. Every time I see him, I try to flag him down so we can talk like adults. And he just laughs and shrugs his shoulder and drives off. You know, the car's wrecked. I've seen it. It looks horrible. It wasn't in that condition when he bought it. And then he's trying to blame that on me. He's sending me threats on the voicemail. He said, I hope you burn in HELO. And he said that you're
Dunkin' refreshers, 3 delicious flavors, and medium for $3. That's refreshing. Listen, stress sweat stinks. That's why I use Secret Clinical Strength deodorant. It even beats stress sweat, which makes the worst BO. And 3 times more sweat than still check. We're good. Same pressure under pressure. Secret.
N-word. And it just goes on.
You say that?
no, you're all right.
He couldn't say
I'm
that.
in front of my business.
He said that, right?
Yeah, whatever you
He
say.
said he mixed with everything.
Yeah, he's a liar.
If I was in any way, shape, or form racist, Like, I mean, I'm from like every continent. Like, it's like you don't even know. Like, but you know, if I could just have a moment, just to explain myself just a little bit, because I'm afraid I probably look pretty bad in your eyes right now. Well, yeah, I just want to kind of redeem myself because she said that the front of the car was wrecked. Now I had an article because I didn't know her real name. She's actually a pretty hardcore.
Oh, you knew the weed lady. That's what you know.
No, I knew Stacy. Actually, she was very protective. She's an alias. Her name was supposedly Stacy, and actually, I was actually test driving the car, right? And I actually did a heroin deal. That's not even true. This isn't even false. I have information. I'm going to show it to you in a second. I know this sounds really outrageous and what, but she sells crack. Okay, I went to look at the system, this really good system. There was a Glock sitting in the trunk. Okay, on her car. I found out. I looked it up. I'm about to.
Man.
Let's say
Wrong response. When somebody accuses
It's a lot. I mean,
when somebody accuses you of something like that, you don't say, "Where's the evidence?"
sir,
You say that's ridiculous.
after,
I mean, I don't even know.
sir, after
That's this guy in the future, man. When someone accuses you of something, don't. That's not a good response. That because that smacks of guilt. That almost says, "Yeah, I did it, but prove it to me. Show me some evidence that I did it." That's how some could interpret that. I'm not going to interpret that in that manner today because you don't give me the impression of a gun-toting, heroin and weed dealer. Go ahead.
Your Honor, so like back to that, the car was damaged before I got it. That's in the article.
Did you
It was
also
also-
damage before you purchased?
Yes, sir. But yeah, so no complaint. You're right. But then it was crack residue in the car. And I quote, I'm
Did
so
you see
sad.
it before you bought?
What? What did you say? I honestly didn't hear
Did you
you.
see the crack residue before you purchased it?
I cleaned it thoroughly, Your Honor, with the vac.
So you knew that
and everything. And I quote, I'm so sick, I'm so disgusted with the car, I don't even want to get it. And the reason I got this article is once I found out her real name, I looked her up, I Googled it, wasn't expecting to find anything. I randomly found that one of her crackhead friends allegedly battled drug addiction, but he stole her car and burned through $1,000 cash that she had. I wonder how she got it.
So are you on heroin?
What?
Are you on crack? Are you a
No, Your Honor, I don't listen. I speak to God,
Well,
but
you
God
man
made it.
sir. You sound like you've done exactly what the other guy did.
No, Your Honor.
You took a car without paying her.
No, I did pay her. I paid her $1,000.
No, so balance. You said you paid $3,000. So I'm inclined, particularly the way you acted today in this courtroom, I'm inclined to believe you a crackhead too.
I mean, like, no.
I don't know you, man.
That's what you inclined. It's the right to your own opinion. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I really don't smoke crack, but I really don't. I got on the street. I'm under oath here, and I do not smoke crack either. I mean, if you're inclined to your own opinion, but
My opinion matters the most.
it does matter the most. You're right. You're the one. Yep. Your Honor, this is an actual article I came across. This is actually
How old are you, young man?
19 years old.
All right.
And I work and I get taxes taken out and everything. When you push that kind of stuff, you're gonna get taxes taken out. It's kind of like,
Everybody taxes taken out. I work full time. I'm a full-time student as well.
all right, I'm sorry.
So what's your defense of not paying this woman all her money other than the car you already knew?
I know. That wasn't good. But this is good because I wanted to pay her the $3,000 before I knew what it was worth. But my dad told me, I took his advice. He's like, do not give her a dime until you take it to a mechanic. So I was like, fine, okay. I trusted it. So I was like, all right, I will not give her a dime until I take it to a mechanic. But she was calling me like every day, telling me, you got to sign a contract, trying to bully me, like I got other people who really buy this car for $3,000 and all this. And so what I said was, I took it to the mechanic and I said it was only worth $1,000. And that's what I gave her. She wanted cash. She wanted a money order. She didn't want no check because you can't buy what she needed with that money order, that check. She wanted cash. That's what I gave her.
Why did you sign a contract if you don't want to
I was intimidated. I was intimidated.
As she pulled that gun out.
She never did that because I
She
was
never
not.
pulled it
I'm
out.
under oath, Your Honor. I would not say she pulled. That is a crazy
You
accusation.
were concerned that she might go and get that Glock that you saw.
No, sir, because this whole case, I
So how
understand.
did she force you? How could she force
She
you?
can't force it. I want her to. That was my mistake. If I could go back in time right now, I could have been wrong. That was what I did wrong. And there's probably more things I've done wrong than that in this situation, which was when, in the first place, I found out she was dealing, all sorts of different stuff. I should have. In the first place, I had common sense. I would have
was
forget.
back in weed.
I would have been like, forget it. You know what I mean? But after the fact, I was buying some herb off her. After the fact, I found out that it was narcotics.
She's not selling anymore.
Selling what?
And he is, according to you, he is. Whoever he was,
No, I
you're gonna have to get the rest of your dope from him. You have something to say, come on.
Then
Stand up. State your name.
Michelle Thompson. He was paying $1,000. He paid $870. I was wearing the whole time.
It was 950. So.
No.
Oh, you said 1,000, sweetheart.
Right.
Yeah, but it was like close. He gave me an extra 20 back. Remember? And then he gave me the 30 inside that. He took it off the sack.
I'm going to rely on her memory more so than yours. You're an admitted weed smoker, which has a tendency to harm one's memory. And it has harmed your memory. So therefore, I believe her. $2,130 for the plaintiff. First of all, so it's no defense that it was damaged. You knew it was damaged when you purchased it, as you said. You signed a contract agreeing to pay her. You have, yeah.
Is Stacy on it or longer? It's a Stacy.
Either one of my.
Did you sign a contract or not?
Yes, sir.
With her?
Yes, sir.
And you have no defense to not meeting the terms of the contract, sir. $2,130.
Got the new fresh skin lineup and little chain line. Transform your life and live lightly. Care more, live more with Liquid ID.
Plaintiff Anastasia Christakis says she and the defendant were in, but she didn't like his lifestyle because he used drugs and lived at home with his parents. Anastasia says the week after they stopped seeing each other, she discovered she was pregnant with his baby, and she's suing the defendant for her medical bills. Defendant Anthony Durbin says his relationship with Anastasia was purely sexual, and he broke it off with her because she was high maintenance. Anthony claims he never believed that Anastasia was pregnant with his baby because she was still seeing her ex-boyfriend, so he refuses to pay for her medical bills.
Tell me what happened.
I've known Anthony for a few years now, and he used to date one of my friends a while back. But December 2008, we started hanging out just as friends, and it kind of turned into a little bit of an intimate relationship. Basically, it was totally cool and fine. It lasted a few weeks, but basically, I kind of didn't really like his lifestyle. I mean, he lived at home with his parents, didn't have a job, he kind of abused drugs a little bit, so I didn't really want to go through with that as anything serious. But a few days after we kind of stopped talking a little bit, I was about to get my monthly cycle, and I usually get it on Sunday. And on Monday morning, I still hadn't gotten it, so I was like, well, I'll take a pregnancy test just to, see. I took it and said I was pregnant, and it was kind of crazy. I didn't really know what to think, but he was the first person I talked to, and I called him.
You didn't know what to think. You knew it was him, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I was just like, I had a lot of things on my mind, like, oh my God, So I called him and I was like, well, I'm pregnant, and he kind of didn't really believe me. So I was like, well, I am. He was like, well, I'll call you later. I said, okay. So I go to work, and he called me, and basically he was just like, well, you need to take care of it because I'm too young for this, and I can't have this.
Give me some background on the case. She said that pretty much were irresponsible in terms of not working, not going to school.
Thank you for watching.
I do.